Hello heathens, and welcome to my channel. I am Beauty Heathen, and my channel is generally dedicated to the exploration of paganism through the medium of cosmetics, although we are expanding our content. So if you feel that my subject matter would be of interest to you, or if you have been enjoying it so far and have not yet done so, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and set the bell to all to be notified of when I release new videos. Today's video, I'm going to wrap up and finish the community healing ritual that I had begun. Sorry if I flashed anything. I think last week to add in a couple extra stones. Forgive my bare arm. I'm trying to do a pretty extensive crystal grid because, let's face it, I really feel like the world needs a lot of healing right now. Let me get an empty jar. I wanted to try to bring up my mortar and pestle, but unfortunately my mortar and pestle got a little bit buried and I couldn't get it out from where it got pushed to, so I am going to do this with what I can. This candle was already smoke cleansed last week, and if you have watched the community healing ritual, I hope you guys have been pouring your focused energy into this candle, because although I cannot target it specifically, doesn't mean that some form of world healing isn't drastically needed right now. So, as I have said in my how to make a ritual candle video, which I will link somewhere up here, you do not need these materials to do a ritual like this. I personally use them because I like being able to give my ritual work a boost and a little bit of a bumper. You can use any kind of materials that you feel are appropriate for you. Magic work can be as inexpensive or as expensive as you want it to. You do not have to get a Reiki charged crystal journeys healing candle. You do not have to get dragon's blood oil, which I am about to use. You can use olive oil. You can just do olive oil, salt, and pepper on a dollar store candle, and as long as you pour your intention and your energy into it, it's gonna do something, okay? I actually have 2 mortar and pestles, and there's a very big reason for that. One I use for happy stuff, and the other one I use when somebody needs a little karmic bump upside the head. I love using the oil, dragon's blood oil. I have found that I can use it straight out of the bottle. However, do not assume that just because I can means you can. Pretty much all essential oils need to be cut with some sort of carrier oil, such as coconut oil, jojoba, olive oil, something to dilute the strength and the power of it so that you don't get a rash or any sort of physical affliction from it. But just like I did in how to make a ritual candle, I am putting some on my hands. And now I'm going to recharge the candle. So I'll be quiet for a moment. And all I did was close my eyes and ask that healing be brought to the world. And I did that 3 times, and each time I did it, I mentally pushed that energy into the center of the candle. So now I'm going to put a bit more dragon's blood oil on my hands. And just like I did in the how to make a ritual candle, a big reason why I put oil on my hands twice isn't just because once I touch it, but I tend to have dry skin, and the second application of oil tends to help ensure that I get oil on the actual candle and not absorbed into my skin. And because this is a ritual where I am requesting something, I am coating the candle in oil in an upward motion. I am turning the candle in a counterclockward manner so that I'm actually anointing it in a clockward motion. I know that sounds weird, but whenever you're doing ritual work where you want to ask for something, it's generally recommended, of course some people are different, some people it's the other way, that you anoint a candle in a clockwise rotation. If you were doing a ritual where you wanted to get rid of something, or you wanted cleansing of some kind, you would do it the other way. Just a little bit more oil. I want to make sure that this candle is nicely anointed. Make sure that everyone's energy and everyone's hard work, pouring their love and requests into this candle, so that everything gets done appropriately. Now keep in mind, I'm not going to leave this candle unattended. I'm not going to leave it up here even by itself, but I wanted to make sure that I record this so everyone not only sees my process, but gets the opportunity to partake in the big part of the ritual. So again, if you have not seen the how to make a ritual candle, this is the part where I am going to add herbs into the mix. And again, you don't have to do this part. It's just something that I like to do for me to add a little boost. And I'm going to add in some of the herbs that I purchased at the Pagan store. If you have not seen the Pagan store unbagging, I'll try to link that somewhere up in here so that you can basically see what herbs I'm about to add. But I've added rosemary. I am adding in a bit of vervain, or Verbena hastata is the scientific name, mainly because it says warding off evil spirits, but that could mean anything. And quite frankly, I'm just gonna put it out there. What they used to consider evil spirits are the bacteria and viruses that we know to be today. lavender flowers for protection, love and healing. I'm just doing a little pinch of each. You don't have to add a lot. I'm going to add in just a small bit of graveyard dirt. Don't freak out. I buy this. So any graveyard dirt that you buy from a reputable source, like this one is from Azure Green, comes from a properly sourced channel. And I'm just adding that in to add a little bit of a boost. Let's see, I'm going to add in a little bit of black salt. That's mainly why I didn't bring up salt and pepper. Okay, nothing up there. Do I want this one? Yeah. Goldenrod leaf. Sometimes the bigger pieces are at the top, so you have to kind of, especially when you're putting them on a candle, go down a little bit further and try to get some of the smaller pieces. Running out of room. Agrimony. Expel spirits, cause others to sleep, and even treat wounds. Sounds good for healing to me. Most herbs have some sort of healing purpose to them. Hawthorn I'm not going to add only because I don't have my mortar and pestle and it really needs to be crushed. Same thing with rose hips. These are two things that you really have to be able to crush them down, because otherwise they're not going to adhere at all to the candle. I'm going to add in a pinch of linden flower. I'm trying to make sure that I seal the bags properly before. There we go. I tossed them anywhere. It would not be a good thing. And I think I'm down to the last one. Yep. Pennyroyal. For spells of purification. Known for its uses in spells of protection and exorcism as well. So, those are the herbs and spices, I should say, that I am using. Oops. When you're tossing things underhand and backwards, sometimes you can miss your aim just ever so slightly. Okay. And since I don't have my mortar and pestle, I'm going to use this little wood spoon to try to crush and mix things together. If there's a lot of squeaking, I apologize. I'm just trying to make sure that the herb blend is well mixed. It's one of those moments I really wish I had my mortar and pestle right now. I'll try to make sure that I'm able to get it out from where it currently is for the next time I do one of these, so it's a little bit truer to form and I can show you the end result a little bit better. Because as much as I would love this little spoon to have some sort of a crushing effect on the herbs so that they would blend a little bit better. It's not really doing that. So at the very least, I'm mixing everything together pretty well. And now, in an effort to not make a royal mess everywhere, let me get this paper towel. I'm going to put it underneath the candle for the moment. Let me put the jar next to it. And actually, let's make this a little bit easier. It may be messier, but it'll be easier in the long run. And who knows, maybe the weight of the candle will help things crush a little bit as I go to apply them. So, take the candle, roll it until the candle is coated in the herbs. Some people use their right hand. I tend to find for these purposes, my left hand tends to be stronger energy-wise. You want to make sure everything is well coated, and I even go so far as to put it upside down for the moment and coat the top a bit. It may not be perfect, but, and quite honestly, you don't want a lot of herbs on top of the candle, because you don't want them to flame. And do not put any herbs on the bottom of the candle, otherwise you're just going to have a lopsided candle. Which, not that there's a big difference in that, because if you saw the last video, you know Amazon kind of did not handle the candle as gently as they could have. But that's okay. They're usually pretty good. And I think it happened more in transit to the facility that delivered it than the actual delivery person per se. So, with that said, everyone focus. Hold the thought in your head of sending healing out into the world. If you have any loved ones who need healing or assistance in any way, picture them in your mind. Pour those pictures into the candle. Everyone take a deep breath. Calm, center, focus yourselves. We are all together. We are all united in this ritual. We ask that healing and assistance and protection be sent out into the world, and that those who need assistance be aided with this ritual. We ask that those who are ill find comfort and relief. We ask those with chronic illnesses find some comfort. And we ask that anyone who may be suffering any form of ailments presently be assisted through this ritual with healing, love, protection, and assistance. And with that said, it is lit. an important note, as I'm going to have to move this candle, I can't just leave it here. And I will of course put it in a glass container so that while it's burning down, it is shielded and protected. If you need to put out a candle, do not blow it out, because what you're doing is basically blowing the energy away or out of the space that you are doing the ritual. So basically what you want to do is you want to take something. It could be a candle snuffer if you have one. I do not recommend using the metal lid, as some of them are not solid metal and they can have plastic, they can have other particulates, they can melt and burn. I actually use glass, or if I have a metal snuffer on hand, I will use that. And all you do is put it over the candle and allow the flame to go out, just like that. This isn't hot. It went out very quickly. And thus concludes our community ritual. When I go downstairs, I will bring this with me and I will burn it downstairs in a safe place where I can monitor it. Especially where I tend to leave my candles burning even when I'm not home, which is a big no-no. And if you are somebody who is not an adult, I absolutely do not recommend you do that. I tend to put them in a glass jar in the sink, so should anything happen, nothing is going to go up in flames, knock on wood. Obviously do not do that if you have like a Formica countertop or anything of that nature, because if anything does happen, you can have an actual fire on your hand. Remember, Formica and a lot of things are plastic. I happen to have a stone countertop, so it won't burn. And yes, I keep knocking on wood. So, I hope you enjoyed this ritual, and I thank you so much for participating in it with me. And I hope that anyone whom you have asked and requested be helped, find healing and comfort soon. And with all of that said, until next time, I wish you joy, I wish you kindness, I wish you love, I wish you prosperity, I wish you healing, of course, and most of all, I wish you brightest blessings. And until next time, blessed be.